I'm back. And today I am going to show you how to make one of my favorite and easiest recipes, Instant Pot loaded potato soup. But first, for those of you who follow me regularly, and I got many emails and messages from you guys, thank you so much. You have wondered where the heck has Heather been for the last 5 or 6 months. So I just want to address that very, very quickly. Unfortunately, I was diagnosed with an invasive malignant melanoma on my nose, and it was very complicated. And I have had to undergo 6 surgeries over the past 5 months, and it's been quite a procedure. And I looked like a freak show science experiment for a while, but I have to send a big, big, big thank you to my wonderful medical team, from the dermatologist who caught it, to the Mohs surgeon who, with the first 2 surgeries I had, cut it out. She did have to cut out about 1/3 of my nose. To the dermatopathologist who made sure she got it all, and she did, so thank you for that. And also a big, huge, heartfelt thank you to my amazing plastic surgeon who not only put up with me for the last 5 months, but who had to put my face back together. And it was not an easy process. He spent hours poring over god-awful photos of me throughout this process where I just was a wreck. And it was with his vision and his patience and hours and hours and hours and hours in the operating room for the final 4 surgeries that he was able to do it. And yes, it took my rest of my nose and my forehead and my ear and my groin, and played a role in that, and even my scalp. So yeah, it was a little complicated, but he did it. So thank you for giving me my face back. Now let's get to this fabulous Instant Pot loaded potato soup. I am Heather with the Spicy Apron Cooking Show. The full recipe for this is in the link below. Now we are going to start by sauteing some onions. I have a couple of tablespoons of the bacon grease that I already cooked. Here it is, and we'll talk about the bacon in a minute. So put your pot on saute, and in the bacon grease, add your onions. All right, you guys know I say this all the time. They need to invent smell TV, because this smells amazing. And honestly, all it is so far is bacon grease and onions, but really that's a pretty good start. Now, once your onions have sauteed just a little bit, 2 or 3 minutes to soften them a little bit, add some garlic. Again, I will remind you that the full recipe is in the link below. It is at thespicyapron.com. Ooh, okay, so the smell just got better. And yes, isn't that great? My nose actually does work. I can smell. All right, so once you can smell that garlic and those onions together, then at this point, this truly is just a dump and go recipe. I've got 3 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. Now I cut them into dice-sized pieces because at the end of this recipe, you can choose to either leave it chunky with the pieces whole, so I want them bite-sized, or a lot of people prefer to use an immersion blender and blend it up, and we can talk about that in a little bit. So let me stir in these potatoes with that onion and that garlic. Now I would like to know, when you guys have loaded potato soup, do you like to leave it chunky, or do you like to smooth it out with the immersion blender? You know my thought, I like chunky, but tell me what you guys like. Now once you've combined the potatoes with the onion and garlic, then you're gonna add some spices, and this is really simple. Just some salt, some pepper, and a little bit of cayenne, because you guys know I am spicy, and that's actually not too spicy. Now this part is optional. It is one of the reasons I call the soup loaded potato soup, because you kind of have to have a veggie if you're gonna call it loaded. And this is just a bag of frozen broccoli, because you know here at the Spicy Apron, my job is to show you the easiest ways to get the best results in your kitchen. And quite honestly, you could use fresh broccoli if you want, but it will taste the same using frozen, and that's a lot easier. So 1 bag of frozen broccoli florets, and then 4 cups of chicken broth. Now, this is just store-bought chicken broth, again, keeping it easy. But if you want to make your own homemade chicken broth, I have a link to a video up here where I did that, yes, in my Instant Pot. So once you have these ingredients in, all you do is give it a quick stir, put the lid on, pressure cook it on high for 6 minutes, and I will be back with you. A couple of quick things while this is coming to pressure that will hopefully make things a little bit easier for you, because I know a lot of you just got an Instant Pot over the holidays. Stick with it, you're gonna love it. There is a bit of a learning curve, but I am the author of 2 authorized Instant Pot cookbooks. So I'm going to put links to those below, but I also am going to put a link to my top 10 Instant Pot recipes. It's a free PDF handout. Go ahead and click on the link. It'll come directly to your inbox. So hopefully that will help you out just a little bit. And if you have any questions at all, Instant Pot related, or otherwise actually, go ahead and put it in the comments below, and I will do my very best to answer all of you. Now, this is almost to pressure. It's gonna cook 6 minutes, and then I'm going to do a quick release to get rid of all the pressure, and we're gonna finish it up. All right, pressure is released. Let's look at that. Everything is perfectly done. And I want you guys to know, oh wait, first I have a tip. For those of you who don't know, if your Instant Pot lid has little slats like this and you have a slot on your handle, that actually is a really awesome lid holder. So in case you didn't know that, wanted you to know that. I actually don't use it because it kind of gets in my way, but a lot of people love that feature. Now, when I say loaded potato soup, we're not done loading it up yet, but everything that needed to be pressure cooked is cooked. It's perfect. Now, this is where you need to decide. Do you like it chunky, or do you like to use an immersion blender and blend it up? I like it chunky, but what I do is take a big spoon and I just kind of hand smash things a little bit. Now, I also do tend to like my soups a little bit on the thicker side, so I am going to add a slurry, which is just equal parts cornstarch and water. Now, in order to do this, you need to turn your pressure cooker back onto saute because you need it to be simmering. So I'm smashing it up just a little bit by hand to thicken it up with the potatoes, but I am adding this cornstarch slurry, which will thicken it up even more. Now, I have a question for you guys. I like using its cornstarch and water equal parts. I'm using about 2 tablespoons of each here. If I need more, I will add more. But a lot of people prefer to use potato flakes, which is great and it works well, but I'm curious why. So if you're a potato flake user to thicken it up, please tell me why you prefer that over cornstarch in the comments below. So pour it in, and then a little bit of a trick if you want to get what's in the very bottom, just scoop it back in and dip it out. Then you'll get all of that cornstarch in there. Okay, it is simmering away and thickening up very quickly. It does not take long. It just needs to come to a simmer for probably about 30 seconds. And there it is. That is exactly the consistency I like. Let me make sure you can see that overhead. Hold on. Let me switch to my ladle. This is the consistency that I like my loaded potato soup. But I'm going to add the good stuff, the loaded part, which is a cup of shredded cheese. And I am saving some of the cheese. I have a little bit, oh, not very much, for topping. So that's all I'm gonna get on my topping today. And on top of the cheese, I am adding a cup of sour cream. And I'm so sorry, I keep banging my dishes around. My kitchen, I just had a remodel of my kitchen. Love it, by the way, and I will show you that in another video. In fact, it was kind of funny. My kitchen remodel was going on at the same time as my face remodel. So they both got done the same week, actually. And it's only been 4 weeks since my last surgery. I'm still amazed. I look like me. Yay. Okay, let me stir in that cheese and that sour cream. Ugh, you guys, the smell is just so good. Okay, and back to the ladle. It is time to serve it up. So we've got our potato soup with broccoli. Again, you can omit the broccoli if you're not a veggie kind of person. This to me is one of the most delicious ways to get veggies. And just scoop it in the bowl, and we are, oh, I'm kind of making a mess. We are, excuse my finger, don't worry, I'm the only one eating this. Now going to add the rest of the toppings. Now, first of all, bacon, right? You can't go wrong with bacon. You can't have loaded potato soup without bacon either. So, okay, if you're a vegetarian, yes, you can, that's okay. And I'm going to add some green onion on top. And of course, that little bit of cheese that I left over here. Oh, you guys, can't wait to taste it. and a big old blob of sour cream. I might actually add more sour cream when I turn the camera off. Okay, there you have it. Instant Pot loaded potato soup. Yes, it is a meal all by itself. So thank you for watching the Spicy Apron cooking show. Oh wait, I have to taste it. We all know that. I'm a little out of practice. Jeez. All right, let me give it a big taste. Wow, you know I'm gonna burn myself. I know I am, but it's worth it. It is a meal in a bowl. It is true comfort food. It could not be easier. So definitely add this to your weekly rotation. Instant Pot loaded potato soup. Happy cooking and happy eating.